So in one of my last videos, it was a discussion and a comparison of the Grand Seiko high beat automatic movement and their amazing spring drive movement. And this watch, the SBGA481, was the spring drive watch that I had used as the example piece. And since I have it here on loan anyway for a few more days, I figured I'd go ahead and do a video on this watch before I return it to my channel partner Exquisite Timepieces. This video is presented in partnership with Exquisite Timepieces, located in Naples, Florida. Exquisite is an authorized dealer of dozens of watch brands, including Seiko and Grand Seiko, Omega, Oris, Blancpain, Breguet, and many more. Exquisite also has an amazing selection of pre-owned watches with new inventory coming in daily. So if you're looking for your next watch, check their website, exquisitetimepieces.com, or call their store at 239-227-2932, and let them know that you heard about them from Guy in the Just Bluefish channel. I can't recommend them enough. Now this is the Grand Seiko SBGA481. It's a watch referred to as the Tokyo Lion by the brand. It's a 9R65 spring drive powered high-intensity titanium sports watch with a dial and a fit and finish that is on par with the very best of what Grand Seiko is known for. Now the incredibly well-finished and interestingly designed angular watch case is kind of generously sized, I guess I would say, at 44.5 millimeters in diameter with a 50 millimeter lug-to-lug length. But it is very lightweight on the wrist thanks to the titanium case construction. Now, of course, this is a Grand Seiko, so we have Zaratsu polishing on the mirrored surfaces of the watch case along with contrasting hairline brushed finishing. And thanks to that unique angular case design, the contrasting surfaces stand out nicely besides one another. And as I look at the case, I have to say that something that stands out is that it actually reminds me, or is somewhat reminiscent of the Seiko Samurai Diver, albeit with some more retro-inspired design cues, and without a doubt a higher level of fit and finishing. But I'm a big fan of that Samurai watch, and this one just reminds me of it a little bit thanks to that case shape. Now, this watch does have technical features that include 200 meters of water resistance, a signed and screwed down crown. The dial is covered by a dual curved sapphire crystal, and that dial features LumiBrite on the cardinal hour markers and the handset. It features a date complication and a power reserve indicator. The ivory dial has a texture and a pattern that is inspired by the Tokyo Lion namesake. That inspiration being that of a flowing mane from the majestic lion. Now, it is for sure a handsome dial, and I love the color and the texture, but Seiko does, in my opinion, like to get a little carried away with what they claim is the inspiration for different dials. Hey, call me crazy, but I just don't see a lion's mane here when I look at this. But of course, I digress. The watch comes on a very nice matching titanium bracelet, and the bracelet has dual locking folding clasp and also features a diver's extension that you can deploy by pushing the fold-over safety latch in the reverse position. Now, something that threw me for a little bit of a loop on this one was the bezel. When I picked it up, I assumed, okay, it's a dive watch with a rotating bezel. But no, in fact, it's just a 60-minute graduated and illuminated fixed bezel, which I have to say is fine in my opinion. This doesn't need to be a dive watch in the most traditional sense. But then, why have a wetsuit dive extension on the clasp, I guess I would ask. On the rear of the watch, we're greeted with a display case back window, giving us a full view of the nicely decorated 9R56 spring drive movement. And while the spring drive is a fantastic movement with an excellent 3-day power reserve and accuracy in the range of plus or minus 15 seconds per month, it's also quite nicely decorated with outstanding engraving and polishing. Now look, I have a relatively small wrist at 6.5 inches in circumference, and as such, this one might be a little bit on the large side for me. I mean, 44.5 millimeters is a lot of watch for a person with a wrist smaller than 7 inches. But it actually does feel kind of good on my wrist because of how lightweight it is. Now, I don't have a titanium watch in my collection yet, but every time I am loaned one for a video, I end up asking myself, why is that? I really like wearing titanium watches whenever I get the opportunity. So who is this watch for? Well, I think it's for someone that wants something with a bit of a sports watch presentation on the wrist, but is also looking for something with a bit more of an elegant look and feel than your typical dive watch. This one does straddle the line between watches like an Omega Seamaster and a Grand Seiko Snowflake, and it gives you some of the best features and stylings from both types of watches. It is super durable with its scratch-resistant sapphire and its titanium construction. Of course, it has 200 meters of water resistance and a screw-down crown, and it's highly functional with a super reliable, accurate spring drive movement. And it includes excellent glow-in-the-dark luminescence without plastering the entire watch face with lume. And finally, it's handsome and it's elegant with its outstanding fit and finish on the case and the beautiful lion's mane ivory dial and the highly polished hands and markers. Now, it's certainly not a dress watch. No one would confuse it for that. And it's also not an all-in sports model either. It is a bit of what I would call a hybrid that is going to be on the home, on the wrist, whether you're at the beach or out on the boat or heading to dinner at a nice restaurant or even attending a formal event, dare I say. And I have to say that I like that it crosses all those lines and it does it all in the right ways. So if you're interested in this one, give my buddy Joe McHale over at Exquisite Timepieces a shout, and I'm sure he can take great care of you. And let him know that you heard about this one from Guy in the Just Bluefish watch channel, so they keep letting me borrow more watches. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today. Thanks for tuning in and watching. But do me a favor before you go, hit the subscribe button if you aren't already a subscriber. An absurd majority of my viewers aren't subscribed, and it's the easiest and also the cheapest way that you can help me out since it costs you absolutely nothing. So yeah, thank you for the help and the support. I appreciate it. And until the next one, I'm gonna go ahead, sign off, and say bye now.